Welcome back to Cheating Tales Hub. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate each one of you. Before we dive into today's compelling story, we'd love to know where you're watching from. Drop your location in the comments below. Now, let's get into this tale of betrayal, cunning strategy, and ultimate triumph. Earl Vincent, founder of Vincent Medical Technologies, sat in an upscale San Francisco restaurant, holding a leather-bound wine menu. Across from him, Monique, his wife of 20 years, was engrossed in her phone, her manicured fingers moving quickly under the tablecloth. The faint glow of the screen reflected on her flawless makeup, casting shadows that made her appear older than her 43 years. Earl placed the menu down carefully. "I was thinking of ordering the 82 Bordeaux," he said, his voice calm. "It was the year we met at Stanford." "Whatever you think is best," Monique replied without looking up, her tone distant. Earl's sharp, analytical mind, the same that had turned a garage startup into a billion-dollar empire, noted every detail. The subtle shift in her demeanor, her recent late nights at the office, and her newfound interest in squash, his brother Derek's favorite sport. The final piece fell into place when Derek began missing their weekly squash games and company board meetings. The waiter approached, breaking the silence. Earl handed over the menu. "The Chateau Lafite Rothschild 1982, please," he said. "And let Chef Marcus know we appreciate him opening the restaurant for us. 20 years of marriage deserves something special." At this, Monique finally looked up. A flash of guilt, or was it annoyance, crossed her face before she forced a smile. 20 years. Can you believe it? Earl returned her smile, though his didn't reach his eyes. "I'm starting to," he thought. That night, as Monique claimed she needed to return to the office for an urgent press release, Earl watched her leave in her car, only to drive toward Derek's downtown penthouse. Back in his home office, Earl's monitors glowed in the dim light. Years in cybersecurity had taught him the value of preparation, and the tracking software he'd installed weeks ago confirmed his worst fears. Over the following days, Earl pieced together the evidence. Financial transactions revealed unexplained withdrawals. Security footage showed Monique and Derek in whispered conversations. Internal emails hinted at a plan to undermine his leadership and sell Vincent Medical's neural interface technology to foreign competitors. Earl's suspicions hardened into certainty. His wife and brother were conspiring against him. Earl didn't confront them immediately. He knew better than to act impulsively. Instead, he meticulously documented every detail: emails, financial records, surveillance footage. He gathered it all, building an airtight case. 3 days before the neural interface launch, Earl called an emergency board meeting. Standing at the head of the table, he addressed the room of seasoned investors and executives. "What I'm about to show you requires absolute discretion," Earl began, his voice steady. Over the next hour, he unveiled the evidence: Derek's unauthorized access to sensitive data, financial transfers to offshore accounts, and recordings of Monique discussing plans to discredit Earl. The boardroom was silent as the gravity of the betrayal sank in. Jonathan Chun, the longest-serving board member, broke the silence. "I move to remove Derek Vincent as CFO immediately." The vote was unanimous. On the morning of the launch, Vincent Medical's auditorium buzzed with anticipation. Earl took the stage, addressing the audience with his characteristic composure. "Vincent Medical has always stood for innovation and integrity," he said. "Due to recent security concerns, we are delaying the launch to ensure our technology remains secure." As he spoke, federal agents entered the building. Derek, seated in the front row, turned pale as agents approached. "This is a mistake," he stammered, but the evidence was irrefutable. Monique, too, was escorted out, her carefully crafted image in tatters. In the weeks that followed, Earl finalized his divorce from Monique. Her attempts to claim half the company were thwarted by the prenuptial agreement she'd once mocked. Derek, meanwhile, faced charges of corporate espionage and wire fraud. His once charismatic swagger gave way to desperation as he fled the country to avoid extradition. Vincent Medical emerged stronger. The neural interface technology launched to critical acclaim, revolutionizing medical science and solidifying Earl's reputation as a visionary leader. Years later, Earl's legacy extended beyond the business world. His meticulous approach to leadership became a case study at Harvard Business School. Jay, his son, followed in his footsteps, joining Vincent Medical as a brilliant researcher and eventual chief medical officer. Earl Vincent's story of betrayal, resilience, and triumph serves as a testament to the power of patience and precision. In the end, the boring brother, the careful planner, outmaneuvered those who underestimated him. As we close this chapter, let us remember, true strength often lies not in bold gestures, but in quiet, calculated moves. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe to Cheating Tales Hub and share your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next story.